Welcome. I'm going to get you started on the digital donut. The very first thing we are going to do is set up our document. So we are going to hit Control N, and we're going to want to be inches, 8.5 by 11, but let's go the other orientation, go the vertical, and hit OK. And then we want to bring up our rulers, Control R. The rulers work in this way. You catch the corner, drag to the corner of your document, and you can reset your zeros. We are going to drag from the ruler over to 4 1/4. We're going to find our center point. And then from the top ruler, we're going to drag down to 5 1/2, which is half of 11. There's our other center point. Okay, so let's create our donut. So if you click L for your ellipse tool and you hold Alt and Shift, we can drag that right from the center point, and we constrain it to a circle. And let's pick a color for it. Double click for the color. I want something in the browns. There we go. Alright, and then I am going to click away from that, deselect it, and now I'm going to select a darker shade of that same color, just so that I can see what's going on. I'm going to hit Alt and Control again from my center point, make the inside of my donut. So V, and I get the selection tool, hold Shift, and I've got both of those shapes. And now I'm going to use the Pathfinder minus front, and I have just cut the hole out of my donut. There we go. We're going to select it again, Control C for copy, and then we'll be moving over to Photoshop. Now we're in Photoshop, so we're going to set up this document. So Control N again. We want this to be inches. We want it to be 8.5 and 11. And the resolution is going to be, let's go 200 on this. Now let's go 300 on this. Okay, we've got our rulers. In case you don't, same thing as Illustrator, Control R. And we've got 0, 0 set for the corner, so I'm going to drag across 4 1/4 and drag from above to 5 1/2. I've got my center point. So now I'm going to paste the donut that we just created in Illustrator. I would like to do that in pixels. Hit OK, and then enter. So now what we need to do is, I'm going to move my layers up here so you can see them a little bit better. We are going to create a new layer. Well, first we're going to go to the wand, W. We don't want the quick selection, we want the magic wand tool. And we're going to select the donut. We see our marching ants inside and outside of the donut. And now we're going to create a new layer. That new layer is where we're going to be doing the shading of our donut. So we want to hit B for brush, and we want our opacity down to somewhere around 15%. Doesn't have to be exact. Flow will go down to about the same, 10-15%. Mode is normal. We want a decent sized brush, probably about 200, maybe a little bit higher. Alright, and we want to select our color. So we come down to the color pick, create the click so that the color picker comes up. We're going to select the donut with this little eyedropper, so we know this is our color. And then we're going to go from that point just a little bit down below to create our shadow. We want our shadow to be a shade of this color, not just adding black. Alright, and now we're going to take our brush and start building up value around the edges. Because we've got our opacity and flow down so far, it's going to be a little bit difficult to see at the beginning, but that's what we want. We want to build this up gradually. We want it to look as natural as possible to create a good three-dimensional effect. You can see we're gradually getting there. It's gradually getting darker. We don't want to be able to see any single brush stroke. If you're seeing that, then that means that you have the opacity or flow up too high. Alright, so there I've got shadow around the outside. Now I'm going to do the same on the inside. Nice and smooth. One important area to take note of is you want to leave this center part unshaded so that that's your highlight, that's the high point of the donut, and that will allow the best three-dimensional effect. So if you have your shadows and your highlight, that really creates the effect that this is rolling around away from us. And there you go. Control D to deselect. So then we will want to save this as a Photoshop document. We want to preserve our layers so that we have the ability to go in and edit at any point. So Control Shift S, save as, PSD, and that we will continue on building on this document. The next thing we will be doing will be the frosting. So look for that video next. Thank you.